Today, I wanted to take a look between the differences between a cook and a chef. And in order to split the differences up between a cook and a chef, we need to figure out what a concrete definition of chef actually is. So that's the purpose of today's video. We have the literal definition of the word chef, which is essentially a chief, a leader, somebody who leads a kitchen. A cook cooks the food. A chef also cooks, can cook, but then they lead a brigade, right? So there's that definition. Then there's the title of chef. There are restaurants that have chefs working there as an executive chef that the chef doesn't know anything. And a lot of us have probably worked for these people before. They don't know their head from their asshole. There's people that work in a kitchen lead position that follow the literal meaning of the word chef that we don't consider chef. A kitchen manager at McDonald's, for example, we don't consider them a chef. We just consider them a manager, a team leader or something like that. We don't call them a chef. We have the literal definition, we have the title chef, and then now we have the social construct of chef. Social constructs are things that, as a society, we determine these things to be evident and true based on what we agree upon in a society. Social constructs have the ability to be fluid and change over time. There's a social construct in a way that we identify a chef under that social construct. So what I wanted to do is throw up a Venn diagram really quick. This is how I theorize or how I visualize the term chef to actually be this kind of intermingling of all three of these things. Cook is easy. A cook cooks food. A cook is paid to cook food. You put the qualifier home cook if you cook food at home, or foodie if you really love food, but you're not a chef and you don't get paid to cook. So home cook or foodie for that kind of thing. So what I'm proposing, and you can put your own definitions down below in the comments. It'd be actually really cool to have a real discussion over this. The Venn diagram model of what a chef is, that center area where all three things meet up, I believe is where we define chef. A chef is a person that we have the social construct and idea that they're a chef. They are actually a leader in a kitchen somewhere, and they have the title chef. If all three of these things are intermingled, then we have a real chef, a true, what I would call a true chef. There's actually so in the three different circles that I have up, there are times where chef still applies. Rachel Ray. People will call her a chef, but she herself doesn't call her a chef because she didn't go to school and she didn't lead a kitchen. But people refer to her as a chef anyway. Marco Pierre White was an actual chef. He had all three of those things. We have a social construct of Marco Pierre White as a chef, even though he's retired and no longer holds that title. Now that we understand this, we can say a chef, my opinion, my personal opinion on this, is that a chef fits into the center of these three categories, whereas a cook can occupy one of the three as well, but they get paid to cook. That is the essential element of being a cook. A kitchen manager in McDonald's could still be a cook if they have the knowledge and the skills for it. There are home cooks that we might consider to be a chef because they are like a god or goddess in the kitchen, but they don't lead a kitchen, so we don't refer to them as a chef. So I want to know, do you agree or disagree with my chef model? Do you want to add other categories? Is there a solid definition that you've come across that you feel fits into the term chef? You'll notice there is one category I didn't put up, and it's this one. The reason why I didn't put it up is because I feel like culinary school is not necessary to be a chef. I could go to culinary school and do a 4-year degree, graduate, go be a banker, and have never held the title chef because I never led a kitchen, never stepped foot and got paid to cook. I paid somebody else to teach me how to cook. Not disparaging culinary school. I actually think that culinary school has a lot of uses. I went to culinary school for restaurant and hospitality management. I didn't go to learn to cook. I decided I was going to get that in restaurants. So the 2 years that I spent learning restaurant and hotel management and marketing and all that kind of stuff, I was working in a fine dining restaurant and learning how to do really awesome stuff, the mother sauces and all that. You still learn a lot of the terminology and different things like that, but with culinary school, you learn things like dram shop laws or whatever. If you're thinking about going to culinary school, I would say that is something that should be on the table for you. I would sincerely look into doing this. I don't think it's absolutely necessary if you want to become a cook or become a chef. I think that you need to really feel like you have long-term aspirations to eventually become an executive chef, because that's where a degree will matter more. If you try to get into a certain type of restaurant, they will require you as an exec to have a degree. Not everywhere will, and that's why I didn't include it in the list. If you want to know more about what it takes to be a chef and get into a lot of the nitty-gritty of being a chef, go ahead and check out this playlist. It's got a bunch of videos in there. I got lots of information in there for you. Leave your questions and comments down below if you want to know anything else. But otherwise, you guys have an awesome day, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.